Hello, I'm Bill Walsh, Senior Vice President at AARP, and I'd like to welcome you to a very special edition of Real Answers Right Now from AARP. Today we're discussing what Social Security means for retirement, for your family, and your financial security. And we'll talk about how the Social Security Administration is working to serve you. We're grateful today to have Social Security Administration Commissioner Frank Bisignano with us to speak directly with AARP members and listeners. And as always, we'll be taking your questions live. Before we begin, if you'd like to hear this telephone town hall in Spanish, press *0 on your telephone keypad now.
Si usted desea escuchar en español, presione asterisco y 0 en su teléfono ahora.
AARP, a non-profit, nonpartisan membership organization, has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 65 years. Through events like this, AARP continues to provide information and resources to help older adults and those caring for them. Arguably, no government program in U.S. history has become so thoroughly enmeshed in the lives and well-being of Americans as Social Security. In fact, to most Americans, it's far more than just a program. It represents peace of mind earned over a lifetime of work. From covering everyday essentials to helping people stay in their homes, these benefits shape how people live, age, and plan for the future. While never meant to be the sole source of income in retirement, we know that for so many, it's exactly that. In this sense, Social Security benefits help people to live with dignity and independence, supported by a promise passed from one generation to the next. We're grateful today to be joined by Social Security Commissioner Frank Bisignano, and over the next hour, we're going to focus on the Social Security questions that matter most to you. We'll talk with the Commissioner about where the agency is focused right now, his priorities to modernize the Social Security Administration, and later we'll discuss some common scams and the agency's upcoming Slam the Scam Day, so people know what to watch out for and how to protect themselves. And of course, we'll be taking your questions live. Throughout this conversation, we'll have Jamie Lyell, a former Social Security Administration Senior Program and Policy Analyst, and currently AARP's Social Security Program Manager, answering more of your questions behind the scenes. For those of you joining on the phone, if you'd like to ask a question, press *3 on your telephone keypad to be connected with an AARP staff member who will take your name and question and place you in the queue to ask that question live. If you're joining on Facebook or YouTube, you can post your questions in the comments. Hello, if you're just joining, I'm Bill Walsh with AARP, and I want to welcome you to Real Answers Right Now from AARP. Today, we're joined by Social Security Commissioner Frank Bisignano. To ask your question, press *3 on your telephone keypad or drop it into the comments section in Facebook or YouTube. Now I'd like to welcome our special guest. Frank J. Bisignano is the 18th Commissioner of the U.S. Social Security Administration, confirmed by the U.S. Senate in May 2025. He is also the first ever CEO of the Internal Revenue Service, appointed in October 2025. He brings more than 4 decades of leadership experience from the financial services and technology sectors, including serving as chairman and CEO of Fiserv and First Data and chief operating officer of J.P. Morgan Chase. As Social Security Administrator, he is focused on strengthening customer service, modernizing operations, and leading the agency responsible for delivering benefits to more than 73 million Americans. Commissioner, thanks for being here today and taking the time to speak directly with AARP members and listeners across the country.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We're delighted to have you. And as I mentioned, SSA provides economic security to more than 73 million Americans. Maybe you can talk about your vision for Social Security and how will the administration continue to serve beneficiaries?
Thank you for that, and thanks for allowing me to be here. President Trump has a mandate to protect and preserve Social Security. And my vision for Social Security is to ensure that the more than 330 million Americans who have a Social Security number and the 75 million beneficiaries who rely on our programs receive best-in-class service. we are driving a digital-first agency. But we run on a platform that says we want to meet our clients where they want to be met. If it's on the web, if it's in a field office, if it's on the phone. So we believe in an omni-channel experience that allows us to be there for the American public. We remain steadfast in our commitment to supporting the financial security of retirees, people with disabilities, and survivors. That commitment includes a strategic focus on transforming the Social Security Administration into a digital-first agency that operates at peak efficiency and delivers world-class service, however you interact with us. We're investing in technology and transforming systems to make benefits easier to access, expanding our online services so individuals can do more business through their personal My Social Security accounts. This month, we passed 100 million My Social Security accounts.
Wow.
And it's a way to interact with us while improving customer service across all channels, phones, field offices, and on the web. At the same time, we're working to make our processes simpler and more accessible for everyone, while ensuring that the support people expect and deserve from Social Security remains strong as we modernize and transform.
Okay, very good. I'm mindful that tax season isn't too far away, and as our listeners may know, the 2025 federal spending bill included a new deduction, reduces tax burdens for seniors, including many Social Security beneficiaries. Can you walk us through how this deduction works and how it's meaningful for people?
Yes, sir, and I would say we are deep in the throes of tax season.
Yeah, I bet.
We started on time and early, and we're delivering for the American public in outstanding fashion, and I compliment that team for their work. President Trump's Working Family Tax Cut Act has had a real effect in helping out seniors. And I've seen it now through the eyes of the IRS also. But the 2025 federal spending bill introduced a new deduction specifically aimed at reducing the tax burden for seniors. This deduction allows a majority of Social Security beneficiaries to exclude a greater portion of their benefits from taxable income, which means many will owe less in federal taxes or receive a larger tax return.
Right.
Seniors age 65 can get up to an additional $6,000 deduction per individual. This deduction is available whether you itemize or take the standard deduction on your income tax return. This change puts more money back in the pocket of seniors, helping them manage everyday expenses and maintain their quality of life. This was a major commitment made for our seniors, and I am very proud to be the commissioner to be able to communicate this when it occurred and to talk about it here today.
Now, you had said it applies for almost all beneficiaries. Who's not included in that?
Yeah, the way I like to say it is most Social Security beneficiaries are eligible for the deduction. Individuals with higher incomes may not qualify due to income limits set in the tax law. There is a phase out of this deduction for individuals with income from $75,000 to $175,000, or for joint filers from $150,000 to $250,000. Additionally, those who do not file federal income taxes or whose benefits are already non-taxable would not be affected by this change. If someone had federal income taxes withheld from their Social Security payments in 2025 and later owes less due to the new deduction, they would generally receive that money back through the normal tax filing process. When they file their 2025 federal tax return, the IRS will calculate the correct amount owed and issue a refund due. For questions about individual tax situations, people should contact the IRS guidelines or a qualified tax professional.
Okay. Let's shift back to the Social Security and the future of it. Surveys that we have done here at AARP and other sources show, widespread misunderstanding and real anxiety about the future of Social Security. What is SSA doing to educate the public and reinforce trust in the long-term stability of the program?
It's why it's so important, and you heard in the State of the Union, the president talked about protect and preserve. It's the mantra that we run the organization under, and why I thought it was so important to be a world-class service organization, because we're investing in the protection and the preservation of Social Security for the long term. We celebrated our 90th anniversary in August of this year, and the long-term financial health of our trust funds remains a top priority. I am committed to working with Congress and other stakeholders to protect and strengthen these vital programs, and we do that every day in the operations of the organization, ensuring that millions of Americans can continue to rely on Social Security for a secure retirement both now and in the future. We are committed to remaining transparent and continuing to educate the public so that people have access to clear, factual information they can trust. We have also made many vital reforms at the agency, such as cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the program to ensure those who are receiving benefits are eligible to receive them, while also reducing instances of improper payments. Every year, we release our annual trustees report, which provides a clear picture of Social Security's finances. Additionally, we regularly update our website, conduct outreach, and work with organizations like the great AARP to help answer questions and address common misconceptions.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, I know this predates your tenure as commissioner, but a recent disclosure about the misuse of sensitive data held by SSA is concerning. How does the agency ensure the privacy and security of beneficiaries' personal information, and what further actions is the agency taking to protect sensitive data?
I want to assure you that protecting personally identifiable information is my number one priority at the Social Security Administration. Throughout my career at the largest financial institution in the world, I have consistently focused on safeguarding sensitive data, and I bring that same commitment to the SSA. Contrary to much misinformation reported in the media, our systems are safe and highly secure. Our organization is committed to protecting sensitive information and maintaining the highest standards of data security. We have implemented robust cybersecurity controls designed to prevent data loss and unauthorized access. These measures include advanced encryption, regular systems monitoring, access controls, and ongoing employee training to ensure that your data remains safe and secure. A part of the agency's commitment to protecting Americans' personal data and enhancing security service and controls at SSA is a chief risk officer and a chief security and resiliency officer tasked with safeguarding SSA's technology and systems were added to my leadership team, directly reporting to me. Both these positions never existed before, and to me are mandatory to have to deliver safety and soundness to the American public.
That's great to hear. Are you ready to take some calls from our listeners?
I'm here for you, Bill.
All right. As a reminder to our audience, please press *3 at any time on your telephone keypad to be connected with an AARP staff member and share your question live. As a reminder, Jamie Lyell, a former Social Security Administration official and currently AARP's Social Security Program Manager, is answering your questions behind the scenes. I'd now like to bring aboard my colleague of AARP Vice President Jesse Salinas, who's going to facilitate your calls today. Welcome, Jesse.
So glad to be here today.
Okay.
Our first caller question comes from YouTube, and this is from John Michael Reed. He says, how have you modernized Social Security while not increasing spending?
Well, I think I've always been a deep believer that you can increase quality, and by increasing it, it actually makes you more efficient. And the amount of phone calls we answered this year versus last year were 65 million more, while reducing answer time over 40%. So callers were at one point over a year and a half ago taking 40 minutes, and now it's in single digits. Now that was through deployment of new tools and technology. It's also about giving our staff the tools they need to be able to deliver the job. We had 29 hours of downtime on our website, right? That's double-digit percentage of hours. We fixed that in a few weeks with some good technical work. And today, we're doing over 500 million transactions a year on the web, where you can sit at home with a MySSA account and be able to transact. We have field offices, and we've engaged more technology in there. We've done it on the phone, and we've done it on the web, and we want to meet our clients where they want to be met.
I know you've talked about making Social Security a premier customer service operation. That's not language people usually associate with federal government programs. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's my honor to serve, and I think we have the best platform to deliver services the way people want to be served. So let's have a digital-first agency with a human touch. People need to come in. We have not closed one field office. We were so committed to our field offices. I view us as sitting in 1,250 communities across America, but meanwhile being accessible all over the world if you're traveling on the web. You know, we are really the largest digital financial services firm in the world. 100 million digital users, and we're going to roll out a mobile app over the next 3 or 4 months so you can access all your information that you need on your phone. We want to do a great job for the American public. We love what we're doing. We have great career people in the organization. And I'll tell you what, if you want to talk about morale, the 24th and the 26th, an executive order in December as holidays. We gave out people the option to come in and serve the American public, and 66% of them volunteered to do it. Wow. And I thought that was a statement of a team that feels like they're winning. This is an organization with a real mission-driven sense, a sense of being there for every American. That Social Security number you need when you get working papers. You need it when you get a driver's license, and you need it many other times. We're the #1 personal identifier for humans in America, and that's why we take our job so darn seriously.
All right. Very good. Jesse, let's take another call.
Our next question is going to come from Janet from Colorado.
Hey, Janet, go ahead with your question.
Hi, thank you for addressing my question. On September 29th, I received a letter from the Social Security Administration claiming that I had been overpaid. I immediately filed an appeal to that, submitting the appropriate documentation. and received an email confirmation on September 30th that appeal had been received by the Social Security Administration. I have yet to receive any additional information or confirmation on the appeal from the Social Security Administration. When can I expect to receive a response and acknowledgement that I do not owe the Social Security Administration any refund whatsoever?
Well, I'm going to do something. I'm going to ask you to send me an email, and I will respond to you by tomorrow morning, ma'am.
Generally speaking, how long does it take after someone's filed an appeal?
I got to look at the situation and understand it. I would say, it's well overdue.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it, and that's why I'm happy to respond myself.
Well, and our
personally.
staff can probably track Janet down as well, so
Good.
we'll connect those dots. Jesse, let's take another call.
Yep, the next call is going to be Lynn from Maryland.
Hey, Lynn, welcome to our program. Go ahead with your question for the commissioner.
Sure. Thank you for taking my question. My wife has been trying to fix an earnings record issue with the Social Security Administration. This has been going on for nearly 3 years. We've provided all of the documentation that she had income, tax records, 1099s, proof of payments, and everything. And last September, I think it was, we went to our local Social Security office to see why the record still had not been corrected. And they told us that every time they try to put the corrected record into the system, it gets kicked back out, to continuing to show that she has zero income for 2019. And I'm wondering what you might be able to do to help us, because we haven't heard anything since September.
Well, it seems to be a September rally right here between Colorado and Maryland. And as you know, we're headquartered in Woodlawn, Maryland. I won't ask you to drive up and see us, but I would give the same recommendation. If you send me an email with the facts and the details, we'll have an answer to you tomorrow, sir.
Yeah, we'll track him down. Okay, Jesse, let's take another call.
Let's take Linda from Iowa.
Hey, Linda, welcome to our program. Go ahead with your question for the commissioner. You with us, Linda? I think Linda might have dropped. Okay.
Yep. Let's try Whitney from Virginia.
Hey, Whitney, welcome to the program. Go ahead with your question. Whitney, you with us?
We've lost Whitney as well.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Let's try
a third time's a charm.
Try another one. I know, right? Let's see if we can get Linda from Iowa again. I think we might have got her now.
Hey, Linda, you with us?
Nope. All right. Let's try George from New York.
Hey, George, welcome to the program. Well, Jesse, I think we're striking out here.
Yeah, let's come back, Bill. We're having a system issue.
Maybe why don't we take a question from YouTube or Facebook while we wait?
Yep, I've got a question from Kevin in Ohio, and he says, I'm a caregiver calling Social Security on behalf of a family member, and it can feel really overwhelming. I don't know the right questions to ask. What's the best way for me to get help?
Well, I think the best way for you to get help is one of two avenues, whichever you're most comfortable with. Obviously, our field offices are always open, and they do have an excellent mannerism in helping everybody. They want satisfied clients leaving there. But it's highly possible that you can dial our 800 number where, our average speed of answer is less than 10 minutes right now. And a representative will stay on the phone for as long as you need to help you solve your problem.
Okay. We're going to get that technical issue fixed. Meantime, let's ask some more questions of the commissioner. And as a reminder to our listeners, if you'd like to ask a question, press *3 on your telephone keypad at any time. or drop your question to the comments section on Facebook or YouTube. Commissioner, last year you accepted a second leadership role as CEO of the Internal Revenue Service. Managing two leadership positions offers a rare vantage point. How has your experience at one agency shaped your priorities at the other?
Well, first of all, I think, my immersion into Social Security, the acceptance from the career staff, and then the augmentation of some appointees that came in with me really gave me an understanding of how to operate within the federal government. And we got off to a very strong start as a team. And when I was asked by the Secretary of the Treasury and the President to take on this other leadership role, of course I said yes. I'm honored to serve. I like to say I grew up in a multi-generational immigrant household. My grandfather came over to America and joined the U.S. Army to become a citizen. My dad was an orphan. My grandfather ultimately, by the time I was born, was disabled. So Social Security, my father was an orphan in 1937, and in 1940s, the first time orphans, he was one of 15, and his parents died. He served 44 years in the federal government, wearing a U.S. uniform and ultimately protecting our country. So the opportunity to serve is such an honor and a pleasure. So to be asked to do more and have the president put that confidence in me was an honor of a lifetime. They both really are serving the consumers of America. They both are turning into digital agencies. We're using the same governance methodologies on both, as I did running large consumer businesses in financial services my whole career. So I look back after approximately 9 months on the job. I'm pleased to report that we're delivering a dramatically better customer experience at SSA. We're meeting our customers where they want to be met, online and in person, and on the phone. We've improved our accessibility, the 800 number, and wait times are now, as I said, in single digits, reduced our wait times in field offices, and reduced our processing center inventory. Through technology enhancements, this is a technology agenda for both agencies, and there's no thought of putting together, but the thought of leveraging experiences. And I'd give the president so much credit for having a team that actually collaborates across. I talked before about unscheduled downtime of scheduled downtime of 29 hours a week on the web.
Yeah.
We're getting both webs to be up 100% of the time. That's what the American public expects. That's what they have in their regular day-to-day experience. And for me, getting our workforce to be engaged because we're investing in them by bringing better tools, making their job easier, but yet more satisfying. Taking the mundane out and having them be able to deal with the American public by having better systems.
You've talked a lot about customer service and kind of anticipated my next question. In your first 9 months on the job, what do you see as the major accomplishments for the Social Security?
Well, I think the major accomplishment really is first and foremost, we have changed the paradigm of the org. We had silos. We have one disability head who oversees both the state DDSs and all of the disability process and all the judges. We have cut disability pending by more than 35%. right? We've increased the phone servicing times across the place. And like I said earlier, by serving lots of more Americans, right? And the idea that our people now feel we are a client-first org, right? And we took billions of dollars of fraud, waste, and abuse out of the system while providing better service. So I think, it's been an honor to do the job. I do have to tell the American public that the people who work at Social Security love their job and love serving the people. And that's why they showed up on days that were holidays, that they wanted to be there and volunteer and get the benefits of it.
Now, you've put out a call to action to get Americans to adopt My Social Security accounts. You had talked about this a little bit earlier. Can you talk about what those accounts are and why it's so important that people have them?
Yeah, a personal My Social Security account is free, secure online service that allows you to access 24/7 to your Social Security information. As I mentioned, when I learned that my Social Security had scheduled downtime of 29 hours, and I know I keep repeating that, but you know of no online service that has service hours. And we had them forever. And it was interesting because nobody ever talked about it until we stumbled on it. And I'm like, we got to get rid of that. And we did in a couple of weeks with good engineers who knew how to do their job, right? We took immediate action, and now it's 24/7. It's imperative for Americans to have access to their information. And if you have a My Social Security account, you can do it when you want.
Yeah.
There are no limitation of hours. With an account, you can check your earnings history, estimate future benefits, request a replacement Social Security card, and manage your benefits. It's a convenient way to stay informed and in control of your Social Security information. My Social Security accounts also empower users to conduct business without having to go to a field office. We love you to visit our field offices, but if you could manage not to do it, in a snowstorm, you can be on your MySSA account, and many in the Northeast experienced that the other day.
That's right.
I mean, to personify where we are on this, we surpassed 100 million, and we have more than 500 million transactions done last year by Americans
Through the account.
getting satisfied by the account and not having to come to a field office or call.
Now, if folks don't have a computer or they're a little nervous using a computer and they don't have a My Social Security account, what are their options?
Well, I mean, like I said, we haven't closed a field office in the past year. We like the idea of being in the community. Our field offices are always there. But you can also call us at 1-800-772-1213, right? So phone's an option. Field office is an option. We like the personal touch, but many times people can transact without the personal touch. And with us bringing out a mobile app during the course of this year, that my deep belief is AARP and Social Security will partner both on MySSA and a launch of a mobile app to your members, that we will have capability that parallels anybody in the world's ability to interact in financial services with their client base.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I'll tell you what, you up for a couple more questions?
I'm here
I think we've got our technical glitch resolved.
I'm here working.
All right, Jesse, who do we have on the line now?
We're going to start with another YouTube question from Joan in New York, and she asks, when you think about the millions of people who rely on Social Security, what responsibility weighs on you the most?
All of it. I mean, look at protecting and preserving, which is the president's mandate, is how I think about it. And that means protecting your information, protecting the trust fund, protecting our people, protecting the promise to pay that FDR created this program under 90 years ago. But it's an honor to serve, and it's an honor to be here with AARP today. I like to think that every day we're making progress serving the American public better and ensuring that we're eliminating fraud, waste, and abuse and building a much stronger control environment. It's part of our discipline, a good control environment.
Okay. Jesse, let's take another caller.
Yes, let's take Gina from South Carolina.
Hey, Gina, welcome to our program. Go ahead with your question for the commissioner.
Yes, I have a question about the cost of living raise that we get every year. I would like an explanation of how you determine that because, I love getting the cost of living raise, but then Medicare eats it up. And I really didn't get one because they keep raising Part B premiums and everything. Besides giving me the raise, why doesn't Social Security, why don't you all just pay the Part B premium so we don't have to?
Well, the cost of living adjustment is written into the statute. It's a calculation that comes out of the Department of Labor. We work closely. It's based on CPI algorithm, and it's calculated over time. I believe it was 2.8% this year. I could be wrong about that number, so don't hold me to it. We are very pleased to execute that, but obviously the other elements you're talking about are not within the statute of what we do within Social Security.
So you're saying Congress set that statute
Yes.
in place and the methodology to set the COLA every year. Yeah.
Yep.
So unfortunately,
And
that's something.
we're religious about processing the COLA and having it done on time, and we
Yeah.
did it this year, even though there was a government shutdown.
Yeah, we hear Gina's the concern a lot. You get it in one hand and you have to pay it out in the other. It's very frustrating to people. But we know that's not on you, but it is frustrating to people nonetheless.
But I think when you look at, hopefully, I don't know who it applies to on this call, but the good work of the Working Families Tax Act really, did give a benefit to seniors that they never had before, up to a $6,000 deduction, which was actually a raise.
And that's going to be in place for a few years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Jesse, let's take another call.
Yes, let's bring on Lisa from New York.
Hey, Lisa, welcome to our program. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, my question is, I'm noticing that a lot of places that I wouldn't think traditionally were asking for you to provide your Social Security number. So my question is, I just want to know, has that become something that's required? And, for example, i.e., I have a disability, so I was going through an agency, and they wanted me to disclose my Social Security number. And even when I got my enhanced ID through Department of Motor Vehicles this summer, they asked me to disclose my Social Security number. So I was just like, wow, that's really odd. Why do they need my social? I was always taught to protect that and just not to give that away.
Yeah, Lisa, thanks for thanks for that question. There are a lot of scams out there related to Social Security. Commissioner, maybe you can talk about when people should disclose their Social Security number.
Yeah, I'd say, I've lived my life guarded on the Social Security number. But as you said, many times DMV is asking for it. And I think if you're dealing with a state or government agency and they're asking for it, your comfort level should be higher. I would never advise anybody to give it over the phone when somebody asks them. Obviously, as I like to say, it's the number one identifier of an American, right? It's on your tax return. Many times you're applying for something and they're appropriately asking, call it a financial institution. But be super guarded if it doesn't make sense to you. Although I do know that I think I heard you say, for a driver's license you went, and that appears to be fairly customary today.
Okay. Jesse, let's take another question.
Yep, we're going to bring on Roy from California.
Hey, Roy, welcome to our program. Go ahead with your question for the commissioner.
Okay, my question is, I live in California, and in California you don't pay state taxes on your Social Security. What about federal? I keep hearing voluntary taxes. I'm not sure that we need to pay taxes or not. I don't know.
Okay, well, every situation's different. That's why I say, specifically, now you have a new deduction if you qualified, as I said before. It could be up to $6,000. I think, both you could go to the IRS guidelines or a tax professional. But the idea under One Big Beautiful Bill was to give seniors a benefit for all they've done and actually help with the tax burden in total with the potentially up to $6,000 deductions there.
Okay. All right. Thanks for all those questions. And we're going to be taking more listener questions shortly. But right now I want to shift gears for a moment and hear from AARP's CEO. Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with AARP CEO Dr. Myechia Minter-Jordan to share some of her thoughts about Social Security. Dr. Minter-Jordan, you spent a lot of time this past year speaking with older Americans across the country. What has stayed with you most deeply from those conversations about Social Security and financial security?
So first, I want to thank Commissioner Bisignano for sharing his perspective and his insights on leading the Social Security Administration. We appreciate his partnership and his willingness to take time from a very busy schedule to engage directly with our members on this important conversation. AARP represents over 125 million Americans age 50 plus from every zip code, income level, political affiliation, and background. And as I listen to members across the country, each story is unique, but they point to a central truth. Social Security is critical to helping people feel secure, find peace of mind, and choose how they live as they age. I think about Steve, who I had the chance to talk to at the last in-person Social Security town hall. He shared how Social Security helps him cover everyday essentials and live the way he worked and planned for. What stayed with me was the responsibility he feels towards younger generations. His belief that the same foundation should be there for them as they work, contribute, and build their own futures. I also think about Marilyn, who I sat down with in her Nevada home. She told me that Social Security allows her to remain in her own home, a place filled with her memories, her routines, and her sense of self. She spoke about how meaningful it is to receive something she earned over a lifetime, and how that gives her the confidence to keep living each day on her own terms. These conversations stay with me because they speak to the ways that Social Security shows up in everyday moments, and how over time, those moments form the lives people have worked for, dreamed of, and earned. I will continue listening to our members because these stories are essential. They sit at the heart of AARP's mission and guide the work we do every day to protect and strengthen our earned benefits.
Now, AARP has long been the voice for older Americans. What does that responsibility feel like to you as CEO, especially knowing how vital Social Security is to millions of families?
At AARP, our mission is to empower people to choose how they live as they age. And for so many people, Social Security is what makes that choice possible. As a steward of this mission, I stand up for people's ability to live with health, financial security, and purpose as they age. That responsibility is profound, and I carry it with care and conviction. Nearly 9 in 10 Americans age 50 plus rely on or expect to rely on Social Security today. That represents millions of people who depend on it as part of everyday life, for many to cover basics like housing, utilities, and food, and for some as their primary source of income. As CEO, my role is to make sure those voices, experiences, and concerns are carried forward and reflected in everything AARP does, especially on issues as essential as Social Security. People should hear directly from us and know that what they live every day is understood, taken seriously, and represented. I think often about the trust our members place in AARP and in our long-standing commitment to protecting Social Security. That trust calls for steadiness, honesty, and confidence that the benefits people have earned will be there today and in the years ahead. And I honor that trust by making decisions with clarity and resolve, grounding our work in AARP's enduring role defending and protecting Social Security and keeping our members at the center of everything we do.
If you could deliver one message to every American who depends on or expects to depend on Social Security, what would that be?
It's this. Social Security reflects a lifetime of work and contribution, and it plays a central role in how many people plan for the future. My message today is simple. You are not alone. AARP is here with you, and we remain firmly committed to protecting and strengthening Social Security for today and for the generations that follow. Thank you all for being a part of this important conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Minter-Jordan, for being with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, now it's time to continue our conversation with Social Security Administration Commissioner Frank Bisignano. Let's turn to a topic far too many people have experienced firsthand, and that's scams. What kind of scams commonly target Social Security recipients?
Social Security recipients are frequently targeted by government imposter scams. These scams include phone calls, emails, or letters from people pretending to be from Social Security or another government agency. They may claim there's a problem with your benefits or threaten legal action unless you provide personal information or make a payment. Their goal is to create a sense of urgency or fear to pressure individuals into providing personal information or making payments. This is why we have partnered again with our Office of Inspector General and designated Thursday, March 5th, as our National Slam the Scam Day. We're partnering with groups and organizations across the nation, such as AARP, to raise awareness and help protect some of our most vulnerable populations, including older Americans, people with disabilities, and vulnerable populations. Visit ssa.gov/scam for materials and resources.
There's some great information on that website, so it's worth restating. ssa.gov/scam for some good advice on what Social Security does not do. They're never going to call you on the phone, for example. It's worth reviewing that information. Now, Commissioner, you mentioned the Office of Inspector General. They issued a report last summer in which they said Americans should stay skeptical and think scam anytime they receive an unexpected or unsolicited call, email, or letter. How bad is it? And if you receive a suspicious contact, what should you do?
Scams targeting Social Security recipients are widespread and can be very convincing. If you receive an unexpected call, email, or letter asking for personal information or payment, hang up or delete the message. Do not provide any information. It's important to remember that Social Security will never threaten you with arrest or legal action, demand immediate payment, or ask for payment by gift card, wire transfer, gold bars, or cryptocurrency. We will never suspend your Social Security number or ask for your full Social Security number over the phone. We also won't move your money to protect it or ask you to keep secrets. We encourage everyone to stay vigilant, understand your rights, and report suspicious activities. You can report suspicious contacts to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov. oig.ssa.gov. Let me say that again. oig.ssa.gov. If you're unsure of the validity of the call, contact us directly at our National 800 number or call your local field office. I ask you to please be a part of our National Slam the Scam Day and visit our webpage at ssa.gov/scam to learn more about how to protect yourself from fraud and scams. Help protect others by sharing this information with your friends, family, and community.
Okay, and the Scam Day is March 5th, so coming right up. All right, thanks, Commissioner, for that information. It's now time to take more of your questions with Social Security Administration Commissioner Frank Bisignano. Jesse, who's next on the line?
Yep, our next caller is going to be Karen from California.
Hey, Karen, welcome to the program. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for your time. My basic question is, are you still going to be sending out letters through the mail? So things like the letters about COLA, the letters at the end of the year regarding how much we've gotten through Social Security and how much got taken out for Medicare, so we can take those to our tax preparers. Are those still going to be coming through the mail?
The answer is yes, but I'll give you a couple of recommendations also, if that's okay, Karen. And thank you for being on the call, and thank you for your time. If you have a MySSA account and you don't love getting mail, you can easily print out all that material yourself at your convenience at a much faster pace. I think people got their COLA notices online days before you would have received it in the mail. So, you can suppress the mail and get it online. You can get it online and keep the mail, or you could just have the mail. I encourage the online access because you can go there anytime you want and get anything you want. Many times people think they have to come into a field office to get some type of statement. And in fact, with an online account, you don't have to come. You can print out your earnings statement and bring it wherever you need. Yeah. So I encourage all, and Karen, thank you.
The accounts have really improved, I think. They're a lot more intuitive. They've got graphics. It'll show this is what you get if you claim at 62, at 65, at 67, et cetera. It's really pretty simple and intuitive to use. All right, Jesse, let's go to another caller.
Our next call is going to come from Dina in New York.
Hey, Dina, welcome to the program. Go ahead with your question.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I'd like to know how valid are online articles about discounts and other offers that Social Security recipients are eligible for, and if they're not valid, is there a legitimate site that I could go to find out what I would be eligible for?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Social Security is not sponsoring discounts around the country, right? So I would be guarded. Somebody may decide that a Social Security eligible age person is going to get a discount, but it would have nothing to do with the administration of the Social Security agency. So I'd be guarded, but anytime somebody wants to charge you less for admission to the movie, I'm for it.
Well, AARP has plenty of discounts I encourage you to check out, but it sounds like Social Security Administration is not in the discount business. Dean, it does sound a little bit like a scam, and the commissioner noted earlier, if you are concerned about that, you can have Social Security investigate by going to oig.ssa.gov. That's the Office of Inspector General. Okay, Jesse, let's take another call.
Yep, we're going to take one from Facebook. This is Sarah, and she asks, well, what do you want every older adult to know before they pick up the phone or walk into a Social Security office?
Well, I think it's that's a great question, and I thank you for it. I mean, we're 100% available. Many of your answers can be found online. I think if I want people to be served in the manner they want to be served. I do believe that with a MySSA account, you can get about everything answered you need. And then obviously, we are open for business on the phone always. I think it's important that you understand your objective of contacting us. And if you want to call us or come in, and make sure that you're articulating what you need. And our job, we are a service organization. We love serving you. We love serving you in field offices. We love serving you on the web, and we love serving you over the phone. And our existence is, to actually help you navigate the agency in any manner you need.
Okay. Let's take another call.
Yep, our next call is going to be Pamela in Pennsylvania.
Hey, Pamela, welcome to our show. Go ahead with your question for the commissioner.
Thank you. I have a question on my SSA. We had a situation where this happened probably 6 years ago, but we got a letter from the IRS, and the IRS is saying we need to get in touch with them. And it was legit because we thought it wasn't, but it was legit. Now, the question to us was, did you submit your federal income tax? And the question was no. And
we seem to have lost that one, Bill.
Okay. I'm not sure what the question was in there.
I'm not either.
Let's go to another question.
Well, the answer is we're happy to serve you.
There you go. All right. Let's take another question. Sorry about that, Pamela.
We're going to bring on Elizabeth from Maryland.
All right. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome to the program. Go ahead with your question.
Thank you for taking my question. I certainly appreciate it. I'd like to know, between the media and between what we think we're going to get as far as information. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do two things at once, and it's not working. In the media, every so often there's a comment with no additional information attached to it that says the Social Security amount of $640 is going to be taken out of everyone's account. And then you talk to people that work at Social Security, and they say, no, that's not true. But I think most people, especially seniors who are retired or on the fixed income, get scared by that statement in the media.
Sure.
So how do we clarify?
Yeah, I haven't seen that myself. Do you think that sound like a scam to you, Commissioner?
Hopefully this is the good news for you. It's actually the first time I'm hearing such a statement. I don't know what the $640 is, but up till now, I suppose that hasn't happened to you. And I will tell you, in a very balanced fashion, sometimes the media wants to alarm everybody on issues that don't really exist. I spend a lot of time clarifying, misinformation, but, we're happy to help you in any way possible on the issue, but I know nothing about taking $640 from seniors.
Yeah, one wonders if it's on social media and just gets passed around. That Social Security Administration would not send such a message, would they?
Not that I know of for any reason.
Well, if you don't know, it's not happening. Okay.
Yeah, we don't necessarily, we're not in the business of taking money. We're actually in the business of distributing money.
Yeah. And listen, for our callers, it sounds like they're being touched by some of these scams out there. I can't recommend enough. SSA.gov. /scam. It tells you exactly what the Social Security Administration does and will never do. And so if you see some of those things, it's a scam. This has been a great discussion, an important discussion. Commissioner Bisignano, thank you so much for sharing your time and insights and answering all of our listener questions.
It's my honor and pleasure, and, anytime you want me back, I'll show up.
All right, thank you. And thank you to our AARP members, volunteers, and listeners for participating in the discussion today. AARP, a nonprofit, nonpartisan membership organization, has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 65 years. All of the resources referenced today, including a recording of the Q&A event, can be found online at aarp.org/conversation starting tomorrow, February 27th. For ongoing AARP resources about Social Security, including the Ask AARP chatbot to have your Social Security questions answered, go to aarp.org/social-security. Thank you and have a good day. This concludes our call.